What the fuck? Damn, boy, she thick!
Why? Why?
I have just discovered some girls are bigger than others. Some girls are bigger than others. Some girls' mothers are bigger than other girls' mothers.
Well, hello, kiddies. This is your friendly neighborhood watchman here with you today to talk about Star Trek. Not my Star Trek. When I grew up watching the reruns as a kid from the ages of 5, 6 years old. No, this is that trash Alex Kurtzman woke Trek that's been going on since Star Trek Discovery.
You've been at this for far too long, with far too little success.
It ain't my father's Trek, and it ain't mine.
Damn right.
I grew up on Star Trek, and this ain't it, despite the BS that the left loves to parrot and regurgitate this nonsense that Star Trek was always woke, as some left-leaning sci-fi show. No, it's all nonsense.
That shit's annoying.
If it was so, it will have any conservative fan.
You need to stop.
When Gene Roddenberry created it. When I was a kid, even as I grew older, saw the episode over again, the famous first interracial kiss between Captain James Kirk and Lieutenant Uhura, of course played by William Shatner and Nichelle Nichols, I didn't go, ooh, what's that? Oh no. Oh, we can't have that. I'm gonna boycott Star Trek. My affinity for the series would have stopped way back when I was a kid and first watched that episode. Speaking for the majority of the non-leftist Star Trek fans, neither did we act negatively when it was announced that Star Trek Voyager was going to be helmed by a female.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
Catherine Janeway.
Catherine Janeway.
Of course, played by Kate Mulgrew. But I digress.
Without further ado, let's do this!
So, from Bleeding Fool with the byline by Todd Fisher with the heading Review Star Trek Starfleet Academy, it's just Woke Trek 101. What a surprise. Surprise. Coming from the same people that brought you all the other woke crap. If Hollywood still wants to boldly go when no one has gone before, Star Trek Starfleet Academy ain't it. The new Paramount Plus series once again tries to revive the franchise with a classroom of diverse cadets, moral lectures, and a tone that feels more like a parody sketch than science fiction. If you thought Star Trek Section 31 was the worst Star Trek show ever,
you're a bad bitch.
Somebody's got to keep it lively, right?
this show will disabuse you of that assessment.
As if.
I forgot all about Star Trek Section 31. It's like my mind tried to shelter me by giving me amnesia over that trash show. Jeez, I was one and done. But I digress. I mean, when is Paramount? Come on, guys. Come on, Ellisons. You took over the studio with your Skydance Media. You own Paramount. Let's end this woke Trek trash. Throw these people all out and their lectures on their woke narrative. Bring back the old guard that was behind TNG, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, and Enterprise. Take it away from these woke-ass leftists, morons. Resurrect this franchise, please. Yeah, because Gene Roddenberry was a motorcycle cop. He was a California police officer before Star Trek. And guess what? You still remember all the defund the police crap coming from the left. Do you think, as a police officer, Roddenberry would have been on your side or you on his?
No.
No.
You got that right.
Star Trek always being woke. Put a fork in that freaking myth.
Stay on target.
Said 150 years after the burn, the Federation's great collapse. Yeah, well, that's not canon in my world.
You got that right.
Starfleet Academy was supposed to be about rebuilding civilization. Instead, critics and fans say it feels like Hollywood rebuilding its favorite ideology. One more lesson in forced virtue rather than earned heroism. In the world of Star Trek, technology can rebuild planets, but apparently it can't fix lazy writing or ideological obsession. Ain't that the truth? The entire show feels like it's been written by people who think Gene Roddenberry got it all wrong. The classic "I can do better." Meanwhile, you created nothing, but you wanna fuck around with someone else's creation.
Spitting facts. It could change your life.
What a joke. A Jem'Hadar who shouldn't exist. The warrior race that are created by the founders. All male foot soldiers of the Dominion. So this right here shouldn't exist, but you know, all males? Oh no, we can't have that. We're throwing a female. Of course, they have to bring over the lesbo engineer from Star Trek Discovery, because you can't leave a good checkbox behind. Critics are calling the show worse than we thought, describing a story where a guilt-ridden chancellor named Aki, played by Holly Hunter, once a Federation judge, is asked to reopen the academy. Her first condition? Enrolling a boy she once tore away from his mother. Sounds touching? Maybe. But it's also an example of what happens when Hollywood writes morality like a therapy session instead of a story. Aki sits in the captain's chair, curled up like a cat, and refuses to wear shoes. That sounds like something James T. Kirk would do, huh? Or Catherine Janeway, for that matter.
Is that sarcasm?
One character is a newly created hologram programmed to be a 17-year-old and built for body positivity. And built for what?
Say what now?
Another is a deaf betazoid who uses sign language. Centuries after Star Trek already showed doctors curing blindness. If the future has transporters that turn walls into doors, why can't it fix its own inconsistencies? Because they aren't fans. They didn't grow up on Star Trek. They go back and try and watch old episodes and put in things they think loyal fans of the franchise will like. Remember? The member berries. And that's supposed to impress us.
As if.
Don't get me started on a Klingon with mommy issues. They're talking about you. Kabla. In classic Star Trek, the only Star Trek, each alien race represented pieces of the human condition. Vulcan logic.
Does your logic find this fascinating, Mr. Spock?
Well, fascinating is a word I use for the unexpected.
Klingon honor, Ferengi greed.
That's because we don't ask you to pay your rent or the drain on the station's power supply.
You're a very generous people.
This show seems far more about fixing humanity itself. They've taken all the races and decided to make them more human. Worse, the series swaps discipline for self-indulgence. Yeah, we've noticed that since Star Trek Discovery. But I digress. Instead of merit and excellence, Chancellor Aki recruits a random street kid out of guilt. More Hollywood nepotism in space. From a cast that seems chosen for ideological points, not skill or story purpose. Heaven forbid. Classic Star Trek celebrated human progress, working to be better, not perfect. Its stories pushed viewers to think, to debate, to seek excellence. Star Trek Academy does the opposite. It says you're fine the way you are, and anyone who disagrees is the villain. Sounds familiar? Yeah. I don't remember any moments from the classic original series or The Next Generation where someone in leadership said, quote, "We're done improving. Just accept yourself," end quote. That's not Captain Kirk or Captain Picard's Federation, and it ain't mine, and it ain't our Star Trek either. That's today's soy-infused Hollywood projecting its insecurities into the cosmos, and audiences will respond by grabbing for the remote. Apparently, Ozempic has been discontinued in the future. I told you, not only they make her female, but fat.
How dare you?
The Jem'Hadar introduced in Deep Space Nine are soldiers of the Dominion, created by the founder, and they are all male and obviously in fit peak condition.
Fat bastard.
They may have been addicted to Tetracell White, but this one looks like she's addicted to Twinkies.
Oh, that's cold.
He ain't lying.
Let's move on, please. Just move on. Okay, here we have X-Post. This is Isaac Young's opinion regarding Star Trek. Star Trek's beating heart was a professional 19th century naval crew in space. It was basically a love letter to right-wing aristocracy and professionalism with a left-wing coat of paint. And you can literally pinpoint the exact second it died by the BMI, I take it, the body mass index of the cast. Okay, he's saying everyone's pretty fit in TOS, the original series, TNG, Next Generation, and Deep Space Nine. And then in Star Trek Discovery, we have a Tubbalub.
Daddy, chill.
And here we have Robert Picardo, who unfortunately opens his mouth, and like most of his Hollywood companions, inserts his foot into his mouth. Long before the term existed, Star Trek's heart was woke. No, it wasn't. And even though that word has been hijacked and made a cudgel to insult, to ridicule, and at the toxic extremes of social media, look in the mirror, that's your side, to justify prejudice and racism, that's all you people talk about on the left. Star Trek's heart is strong and still beating for those listening. Those listening in your echo chamber, maybe. And you know this, man! Let's move on. It's sad to see Robert Picardo in his senile form, succumbing to his senility.
He ain't lying.
The new show is obviously aimed at teens, but it comes off more like another Star Trek comedy.
I want to stay charmingly insubordinate.
Where the original concepts are now just a joke, the real punchline is how a once great franchise has now become a lecture dressed up as sci-fi adventure. As one commenter said, quote, Star Trek Enterprise had its problems. Well, I thought it was great, but I stuck with it past its first season's growing pain, but unfortunately it was cut short and never fulfilled its promise, in my opinion. So it ended in season 5, I believe. So it was prematurely put to an end in season 5 by the former head of CBS, the disgraced, I forgot his name, accused of sexual harassment. And he was not a fan of Star Trek, so he was eager in terminating it. However, I took another detour, so let's rewind that. Quote, Star Trek Enterprise had its problems, but it's Citizen Kane compared to this, end quote. Perhaps the real burn isn't the explosion that shattered the Federation, but the result of what happens when storytelling itself collapses under the weight of ideology from writers who aren't beholden to anything of what came before them. You got that right.
You got that right.
They ignore canon. So here's the next post from Bleeding Fool itself. Vicky inadvertently demonstrating the full width and breadth of the Trek lore known by the writers of Star Trek Dawson's Fleet, thinking the real fans of the franchise that's been around for years are gonna fawn over the show for these lame attempts. Almost spit my drink out. Yeah, right here. If you know, you know. Someone responds, that's from a classic Trek episode. The Sparrow responds, I'm not even sure what your point is. Me neither. It's like, yeah, what point are you trying to make? It's from an old episode from the classic original TV series, so it doesn't count?
Who'd you talking about?
Fenrir gets it. How? They were supposed to be the last of their race because both sides genocided each other and they were both dudes. The whole point about them is how racial conflicts within a species are moronic and ultimately lead to a species end. How the fuck is there a chick version around? Please put an end to the Discovery timeline. Yes. Ellisons, get on the ball. For fuck's sake. Well, folks, we've come to the end of this article, but as usual, when we have time, we'll go over some reader comments. First up, from Namnut we have, I have a feeling the bit with the glasses is meant to be a visual representation of Hunter's character being a maverick, not wearing shoes, etc. Maybe she's allergic to stuff they used to fix the eyes, like Kirk was in Wrath of Khan. Or after the burn, they forgot how to do it, like they forgot how to make a Saturn V to take people back to the moon. I'm not defending, I'm just saying that I came up with 3 viable excuses that can address this one issue in a single line of dialogue, taking 5 seconds of screen time. But I bet they haven't thought of them. No, they're freaking leftists. Woke ass leftard.
You got that right.
Next we have T. Valador, who says, new opening for Star Trek. Space, the final frontier, calling us to decenter colonial mindsets.
Say what now?
And dismantles systems of exclusion. These are the carbon neutral travels of the rainbow ship Enterprise. Its 5-year mission to explore strange new genders, to seek out new life forms, and find new safe spaces, to timidly go where no non-binary furry soy boy has gone before. Excellent.
Brilliant.
Absolutely brilliant.
Well done, Valador, well done. William Johnson's next with, to paraphrase Raj, Star Trek, Starfleet Academy 5 is the standard against which all badness is measured. Cass is next and says, at least the women can save their careers on OnlyFans. Yeah, for the people that like the chubbies.
Oh, no, you didn't.
John in Oklahoma chimes in with, Gene is spinning in his grave like a high-speed rotary lathe, seeing the disaster that Paramount has made of his baby. Yeah, he'd have a lot to say about it if he could. Next, from Team Saki, I can't even fathom trying to top any comment here. Brilliant, the lot of you. Okay, I'll at least try. Maybe after 5 minutes into the show, they should have Robert, Trump's fault Picardo, come out and say into the camera, please state the nature of live from New York, it's Saturday night. Next, from Biden Kamala's True Legacy, a trans Klingon, or just gay. How very progressive. Team Masaki replies, by Klingon, of course. Biden Kamala's True Legacy responds, I'm digging his retro, early 21st century NFL hairstyle. Vermontis opines, the set looks like they were inspired by a 1990s shopping mall. Is there a Bonton makeup counter on the bridge? Namnut replies, maybe they actually filmed part of it in the mall. The way they used their power station to fill some of the Enterprise's set in the Kelvin movies. Saying so, Namnud. Next we have Lee Pierce, who says, the script treats the audience like we have collectively suffered a catastrophic frontal lobe injury, like the writers of the show. Dialogue is so relentlessly on the nose. It feels like it was written by a committee of HR consultants and TikTok therapists. Character A. I feel bothered by your cis-normative approach to warp field calibration. Character B. That statement is giving colonial violence energy. I'm going to need to speak to my allyship mentor about this. Character C. The token straight white male. Well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to center my privilege. I'll do better. Yes, this is actual dialogue energy, not exaggeration. Oh boy. It's worse than I thought, and I thought it was pretty damn bad.
He ain't lying.
Next we have Wayne Kerr, who says, all the iconic movies and TV shows are being destroyed by wokeness and social engineering changes or remakes. Most new movies and TV shows are dead on arrival. I don't think it will be much longer until studios will have to start offering smaller salaries to celebrities to survive. And I could not care less. You and me both.
You got that right.
KT says, looks like a cross between an HIV medicine commercial and an Old Navy commercial. Was Proxy exclaims, original Star Trek was space pioneers, so the crew had to be fit and smart, just like the pioneers in America who pulled off the moon landing. And yes, I mean the white guys in NASA, not the alleged hidden figures. Laughed my ass off.
That wasn't funny, man.
Sadly, much like higher education in America,
See what you did there?
in this series, Starfleet Academy is no longer about being the best and brightest. It's about social justice and equity.
Shocked. We're shocked.
So in this offering, Starfleet has morphed from being NASA to being DMV, with the typical governmental attitude and denizens you expect haunting the show. The dumb, the fat, the lazy, and every DEI hire that couldn't land a real job somewhere else. As a result, the show provides a very unintentional cautionary tale of what happens when wokeness prevails. Oh yeah.
Yes!
Next we have Sharks of Paper, who says, when you guys quoted Dawson's Fleet on Midnight's Edge in the morning, I cracked up. Laugh out loud. Dawson's Fleet.
You think this is funny?
And last but certainly not least, we have Solar, who says, excellent analysis. I guess woke Star Trek just doesn't get how ridiculous they look and sound. So, as Oprah would say, you get a like, and 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 you get a like. And you, and so on and so forth. So folks, I've come to the end of this video, and if you like the article, or my commentary, or the reader comments, then hit that like button, and subscribe if you haven't already done so, and for shame if you haven't.
Shame. Shame.
And make sure to visit my channel every week so you don't miss anytime I another video. And as always, stay safe and I bid you peace.
Rule number 32. Enjoy the little things. Tallahassee got his Twinkie.
Oh, hell no!